Hey guys, welcome back to more Factorio Recursion. This is episode number 19, and today we're gonna pick up basically right where we left off last time. We tried to design a green circuit module to internalize more of our base, and it didn't quite work. It didn't quite cut the mustard, so a little brief refresher is what we made. And it is not quite fast enough. The problem, the bottleneck, was in these guys right here. Instead of going from inventory to inventory with the stack inserters, we were transitioning from stack inserter to belt to stack inserter to inventory. And that is basically like half as fast. And we needed 3 of these guys to make it work. We only had room for 2 because of the layout. We're using 16 assemblers. 8 for the copper cables and 8 for the electronic circuits, and then a whole bunch of beacons, and it just, it was not good enough. Everything else in the design would have worked if the copper cables could have gotten from A to B a little bit faster. So, I've got some other designs. I've got 2 other designs that we'll look at briefly, then we're going to try out one of them. I think it's going to work, but maybe there's some kind of bottleneck I haven't thought of. There were 3 different beacon layouts we had, and this one, no. This one up here is the one we did last time. This is the most expensive in terms of power, but it uses the fewest assemblers. We've got 2 other ones, and this is the notation over on the right, how many assemblers it will take, just with the math. If everything else has no bottlenecks, how many assemblers it takes to fill up one belt. This guy takes 2.1, and this guy takes 2.6. This guy uses the fewest amount of beacons, so the least amount of power. It actually turns out that this guy is also the most space efficient because we don't need these vertical beacons getting in the way of where we could normally be placing modules. So I made a layout for both of these designs. So let's go take a look at those. Here's one of them. This will supply actually a little bit shy of 4 belts because this guy, again, he is getting a 40% productivity bonus, which means he's producing 2.8 copper cables when we really need 3. So all of this is ever so slightly slower. If there's no other bottlenecks in the system, it's ever so slightly slower than our math estimate over in that other guy. But we are directly inserting from one to the other, so that bottleneck should be dealt with. We've got room for balancers on the outside, but it's going to be slightly slower. As I already mentioned, because it takes 2.1 of these to fill up a belt. So we would have to do like some weird awkward thing of having an extra assembler somewhere, just sort of filling in all these gaps that are left, and it doesn't really mesh well with our module concept. And the other one, which is the one we're gonna try, ended up being not only the most space efficient and the most energy efficient. This is kind of what people typically do. They put a strip, and this is what I've done in the past too. Put a strip of beacons on the top and the bottom. I just wanted to go bonkers with the most extreme model possible last time, and it turned out I couldn't get it to work. So we're gonna do something a little bit more standard. This does 4 belts, and it's more space efficient and more energy efficient. And unless I've made some other massive mistake, which we'll find out in a second, I think it's gonna work. We've got direct insertion. We need 2.6 of these guys to fill up a belt. But they're going a little bit slower because of the copper cables are not quite up to 100% for the electronic circuit guys, like I just mentioned. 2.8 cables instead of 3. So I think this one's going to work out okay. And since 3 of these guys, we're trying to get them to fill up 1 belt. That means we're going to send 1 guy here to the top side of the belt, and this guy on the right, he's going to go to the bottom side of the belt. We've got 2 sides of the belt to fill up. This guy in the middle, we're splitting in half. So he's splitting the difference. He's got 2 stack inserters outputting. This guy on the left is going here, and he's combining with this guy to go to this line right here. And the other stack inserter coming out of the middle assembler is going down here, and he's linking up with our 3rd assembler. And those 2 lines are getting balanced here with a lane balancer, which takes 1 out of both of these every other time exactly. I don't use these types of balancers very often. These are a little bit more advanced, don't always need them. But this should output 4. The only slightly wonky thing with the output is we're doing some underground things here because we've only got 3 spaces along the bottom. But I think this is going to work. But, of course, who knows? Let's test it. I should be able to just pick that up and bring it with us. We'll do another test. I think I still have room in those chests to figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to actually, because, so I don't get mixed up which one's which, I'm going to plant that one down there. And we're going to pick this one up. And then I'm going to plop this one over here. Then we're going to pick this one up. We're just swapping it out so that I don't get confused trying to, because they both kind of look similar. I guess this one's way more hectic, but you know what I mean. And let's look at the chests. Yeah, okay, so they all have plenty of room. It's the same inputs and outputs, 4 of the iron on the left and 4 copper on the right. This input, or rather, this design is a lot more forgiving as well. I've got space to reroute belts to edit things if I figure out that we need extra inserters for inserting copper or inserting iron. I've got room to fiddle with the belts to do that. Okay, I guess we'll give it a go. We'll know very soon whether it works or not. 1, 2, 3, and then, oh, this guy needs to be like that. Okay, there's the iron. I'm a little bit too fast for my own good sometimes with all these leggy legs I've got on my person in my power armor Mk3s. Okay, I did something wrong. Oh, right. Got to. I set the guy back up. There we go. Okay, now we've got 4 coming in. I reverted them back to outputting into our main base last time. Have to change them all back. But now we've got it coming in, and in just a moment we should see. Well, already I can see it's doing a much better job than previously. It's not fully compressed, though, you can tell. So let's see where it might be emptying out. What we're looking for here is if this number ever hits 0. Looks like it might ever so often. So we might need to give it more copper here. Okay, let's just see what happens. We give them double up each one. Now, just because this empties out here doesn't mean anything. What we're looking for is if this ever empties out. And if this line gets fuller as a result, we can also look at, see if this ever runs out of iron. And there also might be an issue with the way I've got the belts going here. Like these guys here, this guy seems to be, like this half of the belt is compressed with 3 of these green guys. So I might have to reroute the belt a little bit to allow them to output more. Maybe they just can't output fast enough. Alright, so slight edit. I went ahead and I gave all the inserters 2 input stack inserters, and then this guy, I made sure that all the guys going on one half of the belt were already being put on one half of the belt. So this guy's going all the way around here and around there so that he's being flipped around to be in the top side of the belt, so he goes right into that guy. And then these 3 are going to the bottom side of the belt, and then they're getting combined. Let's see how that does. This should just about do it. Here we go. Let's see, this guy, badoop, badoop, and then let's see if I can manage not to step on the steel line and get moved around. Good. Probably have too many of these legs on. I can never hit anything accurately enough. All right, so there goes the 4 lines. Then we will watch them for a bit until they all fill up. Already you can see the difference. We've got little micro gaps here and there, but I guess that's okay for now. I'm not sure of how to, like, totally remove that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I think we have a working design here. We've got these little micro gaps. Instead of 40 items per second, maybe we're moving like 39.6. Had a tiny gap there. I'm wondering, are we seeing any gaps in our inputs? Is that to blame? Doesn't seem like it. But that's pretty close to being compressed. I guess that's okay. If in the comments, if you can suggest little tweaks I can do to get a little bit of extra juice out of that, let me know. I would like to close those gaps. I think that's pretty good, though. We can start using that as our module design. Let's go ahead and shut it off for now, because I need to set up the the routing for the belts so that we're not just filling these chests. And we don't actually, I guess we can go ahead and use 4 and just compress it down. We need to bring it all the way down here. See how empty everything looks right now. Here comes the iron and the copper gun. We don't have nearly enough stuff coming into our base to support all of this. That's sort of one of the next things we need to do is expand massively our ore patches. We've got only 1.7 million metal ore left, and that's not really that much at this stage of the game. We've got 13 million there, which is okay. Coal is doing fine. Yeah, we need to take care of all of those guys pretty quickly, pretty soon. All right, so almost ready to hook this guy into the main system. I've got the green belts going out, our spider web of recursioned belts leading back out to our old base. It's time to pick this guy up. I will set him back down. Oh, you know what I should have done first? Let's do this. Okay, this is why... Okay, let's set him back down for just a second. If I can get out of the way of it. Yoinks. And let's cut off his inputs so that he slowly starves so I have less to pick up afterwards. So let's cut off the iron and the copper. You and you. That still supplies to this guy. Red circuits need to still be getting their stuff. Although it should run out soon. Okay, so all of that is coming in. Let's check on it on the inside. Yeah, running out of stuff. We've got a backlog of green circuits to output. Shouldn't take that long. There will be a little bit of this kind of stuff. The iron plates. As long as I get most of it out of there, then we should be okay. Tell you what, while we're waiting for that to empty, let's come down here. And let's empty out my inventory a bit. We've got this guy. I'm just going to go like that. Dump all those in there. And then, you know, I just have a bunch of extra stuff. And I'm mostly picking stuff. Actually, I do want the belts because we're going to be manipulating belts. But we can get rid of all these. Yeah, because we don't need to plop down new blueprints for a while. Inventory mostly empty. This looks like... Okay, good enough. I will empty him out later. We'll have... maybe I'll just put him over here. Scheduled for demolition. And then we've got all these extra belts we can get rid of. The next one to worry about, well, there's a few things to do. We need to recursion red circuits and then blue circuits, but to do that, we need to recursion our oil. And the oil is going to be tricksy because we've got to start bringing the oil into our big base there. Let's see. I guess we just pick all this up. And I'll have to clean up all this splitter stuff. So these two guys right here were green belts. And I think I had a third one right there. Okay, yeah, so we're just going to have 3 of them. And we can get rid of this splitter. We can get rid of this splitter. That little underground guy. All these little splitter guys, just clean all this up. I'll tell you what, let's use our robots. Since there is a decent amount of mess. We don't need these underground dudes. We can just have unbroken blue lines, blue belts, all the way down to there. Until we hit the red circuit area. Good. And then I'm actually going to move this over one. There we go. After we get... Let's see. Let's just sort of like look forward. After we get red circuits and the oil is all in this guy right here right now. Red circuits, oil, and blue circuits. Everything else is quality of life and research, which is going to be rebuilt from scratch. So yeah, that's what we have left to do. We have to figure out the oil, and then we have to recursion red circuits and blue circuits, and I think we're going to be in business with our everything inside one building idea. Let's bring these down here. And right now, I'm emptying out the chests from our little test. So I'm going to bring this guy as far down as it'll go. Okay, for now, let's just get rid of that. I bet, can I get, will that stretch? It will. There we go. And then I did have a third line somewhere, didn't I? I remember having an extra line and then resyncing it up. Now we've got a third line coming all the way down here. Where was he? Oh, he's over here. This is this guy. Okay, let's see if we can... And what is this? What are you? You are supposed to be... Oh. Green circuits? Coming in from the side. Yes, green circuits. Okay, so we need a green circuit guy there. So let's go ahead and do that. And that... Oh, that must have been how it was to begin with. Whole thing is a big mess. We've got a few steps left to make this work. So if we want to rejuke him in, we could actually... Maybe we don't want to have this go like this. Since I already sort of had the line going the way it was. We'll have these lines go like that. Get rid of you. Big, massive mess, but we can straighten out. Okay, get rid of all that. And that. And then we're going to just use this guy. So we'll just move him over one. Like so. There. Okay, now he should go back, and by that point, we're quite, these lines have been quite drained. And he gets resynced in right here. Okay, lovely. Now, we don't have enough ore coming in to support all this stuff if it's all going to be going full clip, but it shouldn't be, because we're basically just making odds and ends as I make new stuff to make new designs. So if the next challenge is bringing oil and all the oil stuff into our factory, we have to figure out how we're doing it. One option is to barrel up all our water and all our oil, and to bring it in with our robots. That would actually simplify some things, because we would just need these big train stops. Maybe we could fit an extra set down here. Maybe not. That would be one way to do it. I'm not sure if there might be a limitation to the robots. We still haven't quite got that far to check that out. We have to internalize more stuff first. But that would also mean I would have to come up with unbarreling and barreling setups, and I would really rather prefer to just keep it in pipes, especially now that we have these handy dandy cargo, not the cargo wagons, the fluid wagons. Hopefully we can just keep it in the pipes. So we're gonna do a few tests here. I got some of these storage tanks completely full, and let's see, let's just grab this guy. So one thing they have done in the recent patches is they have updated the pump and made him way faster, just as a point of comparison. Here's a normal pipe transferring the contents of full storage to an empty storage. It takes like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 seconds to fill that guy up. 20 seconds even? Yeah, long time. If we plop down a pump, boom, look at that. Zoom. So from large inventory to large inventory, that is way faster. And as another experiment, or just demonstration really, if we do this, you would expect, do you think this is going to be fast or slow? Answer in your mind and observe. Slower. Much slower, but faster than this. So these pipes are a bit of a bottleneck in this situation. This guy operates faster if he can transfer from a large inventory to a large inventory. So with the Factorissimo mod, we've got these bulk transfer pipes input and output, which I think are going to work kind of the same. So let's grab, I made some of them. Input pipe. He holds 2,500 water. So that's 1/10 of one of these tanks. And that is 25 times a normal pipe. So if I plop down one of these, what's going to happen? Nothing, because this is for the Factorissimo mod. Okay, what if we plop down an output pipe? Nothing happens because it's for the Factorissimo mod. We've got to put them on either side of the input skis and the output skis. So let's grab this, and let's see. If we can connect this up with as many of these as possible, that would be good. Oh, I guess not. Okay, let's put these two here. Okay, let's just pick these up. And then maybe have this here and that there. I wanted to... Oh, yeah, the distance is just not right. I wanted to put a pump there to speed things up. But now I've slowed things down because we'll have to... we're going to have to fill those back up. Maybe if I do... Let's try this. I haven't actually tried this. Will this make things faster? Probably not, right? Because we've got this bottleneck of this pipe. Anyway, so we're going to fill that up. And then we've got a bulk transfer pipe there. Basically, I just want to compare and contrast the speed. Okay, now we've got an output pipe, and they're connected up. This guy has 2,500 water, just like the other guy. And that is on a delay of 1 tick, as fast as it'll go. I want to see if it's as fast, or comparable at least to using the pump, or closer to using this pipe. Somewhere in between. Basically, I just want this guy to fill up to see how fast these guys are. This pump, how much water? He holds 200 water. This guy holds 2,500, so I'm not really sure. This is also a powered connection. This does not require power, I don't think. But I'm not sure. Let's see if it flashes if we just put it... where's a spot that's not powered? Up here? Let's see if I grab a power pole. Yeah, all the way up here is not powered at all. Probably not going to flash. I assume that's just a passive... Yeah, okay. Doesn't require power, but it holds more water than a pump. Are these guys full yet? Yes. All right, let's check it out. So if we grab one of these, and we're kind of just eyeballing this to see what it looks like. That's pretty fast. That looks like it is faster than the pump. We can watch it again. We can just kind of compare. If I really wanted to, I could put the video clips next to each other. It looks like about the same or slightly faster than the pump. I'm just going to say about the same. So I think that's good enough, at least for quite a while, that we can use these pipes. As long as... Oh, you know what? We didn't check. Let's do this. Okay, I have another experiment. I want to see what happens if we bottleneck it. Because what we're... At least my thinking is that we're going to need to put some of these storage tanks right on the edge of our base, which will affect the layout, which is why I haven't finished off the train stuff till I figured out this stuff. So let's go ahead and grab Mr... Where'd they go? Here they are. You. And then we're going to do... let's see, we want to have one there, okay? And then, I guess it doesn't matter. We'll just use normal pipes. Wait for that to fill up, and then we're going to put a bottleneck of 1 pipe there. And actually, we can go and do that. As soon as those fill up, then we'll plop down this guy, and we'll see how much slower that is. We could even do an experiment here, where we run 2 at a time. We want these guys to be 1 over. Gonna put you there, and then we want you there, and then that, because we're just comparing the speed of the input and output pipe with or without the bottleneck here. If the adjacency of the tank is super important, I think it is gonna be, and that is the top one, so we have to run way up here. I think it is gonna be very important, but you never know. It's your test, right? Tests are important. Okay, and then let's make this one the same. Hit R to do that, and then Shift R to speed it up. Okay, and then wait for these to fill up. They should be good. This guy is still filling up. So that means probably for the bottom, if the left side is supplying iron ore, the right side is supplying copper ore, we will need like some tanks here. Or either on the bottom or the top of this place, we would need tanks, maybe 2 lines for water and 2 lines for oil. I'm gonna do some calculations, see how much exact. Look at my spreadsheet, see how much water and oil we need and what ratios. Maybe we'll need them on the top as well. Maybe water will be all of the top and oil all of the bottom. I don't know. It depends on what the figures say. This should be full now, and we can do our experiment. Full. Directly to the input pipe. This one separated by a normal pipe, faster or slower. All right, let's observe the speed. So it was fast for a second there because these guys are both holding 5,000 water. But then once they emptied out, it was definitely slower. And if the water is continually transferring, that will be a big issue. But, yoinks. Yes, okay, so the bottleneck of this little pipe is hugely important. We will need a large storage of these tanks connected to each other, connected directly to those input pipes. And that's going to have to be like here. And I'm going to have to do some calculations, figuring out some brainstorming, see how that's going to work. Keep in mind, we're also going to have to output stuff because our rocket silo is going to be down here. So maybe we do input the oil and the water from the top. Yeah, maybe that's the best idea. But we're going to have to work on that next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments below. Feedback, thoughts, brainstorms, wild ideas, crazy stuff you would like to see, all that kind of things. And we will fiddle more with the fluid dynamics of Factorissimo next episode. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye-bye.